Hey everyone, welcome back to Xfix. I hope you're having a fantastic day. My name is Ryan, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to create this really cool little information hover inside of Editor X. Let's go ahead and get started. Now for these little information hovers, you typically need to place them in small little containers that don't have enough space to display all of the content. So for this, what we're going to do is create a little mini card. So what I'm going to do first is go ahead and add a container. Now for this container, let's go ahead and make the size 350 pixels, and we'll make the height maybe like 400 pixels, something right about that size. Now, of course, we don't want there to be a background here, so we'll remove that. Inside this box, what I want to do is add a container. Let's go ahead and remove the background. And then maybe for this container, we can set this to have like a 200 pixel width with like a 100 pixel height for now. Inside this mini container, let's add a paragraph. So we'll add it right here. Now for this paragraph, typically you don't want to have too much text in here. So what I'm going to do is just remove half of this sentence. And I want to lower the size to maybe like 13 pixels. And we'll set the width to be 100%. We'll center it inside of it. Then let's grab the container, remove the height, and we'll also go ahead and add some padding, maybe like 10 pixels on all sides. So we should have something that looks like this. Now for this little text element right here, let's actually change this to max content, something like that. Then we'll grab the little box here, and we can actually change this to max content as well, just to make it look a little bit like that. Now for the design, let's go ahead and add a small little border. We'll make this 1 pixel, maybe with 50% opacity. And then for the corners, we'll round the edges a little bit, so make it like 8. So that's gonna be our little information box. Now, for now, what I want to do is just go ahead and say, do not display, because now what I want to do is go ahead and design our little box here. So what we're going to do is add an image. Let's set the image to be 100% width, and we'll send it to the middle and top. Then we'll go ahead and change the image real quick to something a little bit nicer. The next thing I want to do is add a little title here with that little eye icon. So inside of this, what I want to do is I'm just going to add a little box here. We'll make it pretty small. I want to add a 2x1 grid with like a 15 pixel gap. In this left column, let's add our little title. So we'll add it here. We'll send it to the left middle and make it 100% width. Great. Then in this right column, I want to add our little eye icon. So we'll come down to media. And I just uploaded this one from the web, so we can go ahead and just drag this one out onto the page. Now, typically with these, I will make them pretty small. I think 26 by 26 looks good. And we'll switch this over to a fixed size so it doesn't get any smaller. And then we'll go ahead and add it inside this right column. Make sure it is centered and sent to the left, just like that. So now what I want to do is go ahead and grab this text. We'll set it from 100% width to max content. Then we'll grab this container and change this column to max content as well. And we'll go ahead and do that for this second column also. Great. Now with this container, we'll also set the width to max content just so it looks like that. And we'll remove the background color. And we'll also go ahead and just remove the height. And we need to do that for the row as well. Set that to max content. Great. So now we'll drag this into our item here. Make sure it's sent to the left. And last but not least, maybe we'll add like a little paragraph here. We'll drag this into the box. We'll set this to be 100% width. We'll send it to the bottom. And now what I want to do is go ahead and grab all of these elements. We'll stack these together. And then we'll come over to our padding and we'll add like 20 pixel padding here. And we'll add it to all sides. And then with this stack, we'll also go ahead and add some corners. So we'll go ahead and add like a 12 pixel radius here. We'll set the border to 1 pixel and we'll set the opacity to 50%. So now we should have something that looks like this. Now, actually, I do kind of want to change the size of this. This might be a bit too big, so maybe we can do like 22 and 22. I think that looks a little bit better. But now what I want to do is come over into our container. We'll show the little hover thing. Let's bring it to the top. For the background, let's just go ahead and make it white so it's actually visible. But what we want to do is kind of position it where this eye is. So what we want to do, come over here and we'll come down to the docking and margins. So let's actually dock it to the right. And what I want to do is say maybe like -45. Let's see where it puts that. All right, -55. We'll put it as -55. And then for the bottom margin, -90. Okay, so now it should appear just about here. But what I want to do is grab this container. We'll come down to adjust and we'll lower the opacity to 0%, just like that. So now it's no longer visible. So then what I want to do is go ahead and grab this box and we're going to come over to our interactions, go to effects, and we'll say add an effect. We want to create a custom effect. So we're going to say I hover, just like that. And we'll press start designing. Now on the initial state, we want to look just like this, but on the effect itself, we just want to raise the opacity from 0 to 100. And now we are done with that. But now what we need to do is actually grab this little eye image and we're going to come over to triggers and we're going to say on hover, we want something to happen, but we don't want it to happen to itself. We want it to happen to the box that we have. So it's going to be this box right here, which we can go ahead and rename as the I hover box, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and press done. And we want to apply an effect. We want it to be the I hover. So now if I go ahead and press preview and I hover over this little eye, we are now going to get that little hover effect, just like that. But that's basically going to wrap it up for today's video. If you all did enjoy, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel for more Wix and EditorX content coming out really soon. Thank you all again, and I'll see you all in the next one.